Hello. It's been a while since I last made YouTube videos, and I thought I want to come back because now with AI I found a couple of interesting applications that I didn't find any particular videos about, so I think I have something to share and contribute. What I want to do specifically in this session is I want to go through some of my old code using AI and trying to improve or find certain issues. Like back in the day, I had a couple of projects that I got interested in, but then, at some point I stopped working on them, and I still had some things I wanted to do here. I did this last week on off camera on one of my previous projects, which had to do with reinforcement learning, and back then I could never really get it to work, but I pointed opus at it, and it immediately told me that there were 3 or 4 bugs in my code, and afterwards it worked. This time I don't want to look into the reinforcement repository, but there is a game that I implemented back then called StackIt. I have a second YouTube channel where I have the videos on how this is implemented. If you're interested, go check this out. The premise of my channel is that I want to do this unscripted. I feel like sometimes when I was younger and I watched some programming tutorials on YouTube, it was nice because they were all very clean and scripted, but when you work on it yourself, you will encounter errors, and then it's immediately like, okay, what do I do now? So here I thought I want to do this unscripted and planned, more or less. I mean, I have a plan, but I didn't do the work that I'm doing before this video. And the goal will be, we're gonna look into this repository. I'm gonna point Claude at it, and similar to my other repository, I will ask it to see, are there any bugs, any improvements? I remember that 6 years ago I actually spent some time developing some really basic UI for it, and I mean, maybe we can take a look at this and then just improve it with AI. And really interesting thing, might not be in this video, might be the next one, for me, is that I stopped right before I wanted to implement AlphaBeta style reinforcement learning on this game. Let's quickly introduce the game. What is StackIt about? I mean, first off, you can see 6 to 8 years I kind of abandoned this project. StackIt is a game that is rather simple, 2-player game. You have a board. Players take turns putting their pieces on it, and the way this works is you can put your piece on an empty square or on a square that you already own, and then these pieces can stack on top of each other. You cannot put your pieces onto an opponent square, a square owned by an opponent, and if you have more than 4 pieces on one square, they will start topple over. So one of your let's call them crates or blocks will fall to the top, to the bottom, to the left, and to the right, and they will color those fields in your color. So if there was an opponent next to you, then you will take over their field, and the way of winning this would be to make sure that you own everything. As you can see, back then everything was kind of done manually, so even the ASCII art here is not very pretty. Here the idea is that we stacked 4 red boxes in the middle, and if we were to place another red box in the middle, they would topple over and take the surrounding fields. So if we had 4 red here and 4 blue here, and we put 1 more red box into the middle, it will topple over. One of your blocks will go into the blue stack, and then will also topple this over. And maybe I even made a mistake, because technically the blue one falls back onto the red one, and this will actually be 2 squares. I hope I could make the game clear. Again, this was completely unscripted, so maybe I'm stumbling a little bit, and it's my first video in a while. Bear with me. So what I thought we do now is we just go to the terminal. I hope everyone who watches this video is a little bit familiar with Claude already. I'm not going to explain the basics here, but maybe as we go I will explain a little bit, because in between we probably have to wait for Claude couple of times. So let's run Claude. Okay, apparently my login will expire soon. Can you give me a review of this repository? What is inside? Explain the game. Tell me. Let's just do this. Should be rather quick because it's not many files. Claude can read all of them rather quickly. And then I actually hope the next thing we can do is just ask it to do a code review to see if there's any particular bugs in it. And maybe at the same time we can ask it to run my server in the background so that I can show you my really simple UI that I coded up back then. Oh, it's a YouTube tutorial project. It was probably written in the README somewhere. A 2-player game, a mix of Go territory plus the classic chain reaction Atari game. Default is a 5x5 board. Each cell holds a stack of blocks or color. On your turn, you can either place on an empty cell, add one block to a cell that you already own. You cannot stack the opponent. When a stack hits 5, it collapses, spills to the neighbors. Spill can push neighbors to bigger 5 triggering chain reactions. Off the board edge, just vanish. Own every cell on the board. Repository contents. Okay, I'll just, gloss over this. I think most of the files are pretty self-explanatory. Strength. Generally well-featured AlphaBeta for tutorial. Transposition table. Yeah, back then I was actually in chess engines and I just implemented all of this, and I wanted to see if I can, how deep can I search in a game like this. Rough edges. Undo is fragile. Yes, probably. Move collapse trigger only. A cell reaching exactly collapses. Ooh. Okay, might already be the first bug, right? Bug. Minimax bug. Principal variation is only assigned inside branch. If the first move is never beaten, it's referenced unbound. Okay, server global game stick grows forever. Okay, yeah, that was not, it's not meant to be played. Deep copy. Okay, that's already pretty interesting, and I think we can just tell it to fix the bugs and maybe give us let's quickly see if we can, sorry, so oh wait, is there no, how do I run perf? Oh yeah, okay. Let Claude do it. I'm just trying to remember what I did back then, but we will just let Claude do everything here. So I remember there's a server.py. Maybe you can run this in the background so that I can look at this, the UI that I built back then. At the same time, I want you to fix the bugs that you found and maybe also give it a deeper code review for bugs. You can use a Sonnet sub agent for this. Also, I want you to see if you can improve the performance of both the Monte Carlo tree search, min-max, and the performance run. You mentioned I use deep copy there. Maybe we can optimize this. You can give this task to an Opus sub agent so it can work on this in parallel while we are waiting for it. Yeah, I think that's it for now. So as you can see, I personally like to use the voice mode inside of Claude. I know many people use Whisper. I just never bother to set it up. I find this works well enough, and I usually just talk to Claude. I also tend to tell Claude to use sub-agents for things. I think Opus does this sometimes, not as much as it should. Fable 5 is much better at using sub-agents, but still I think it does too much by itself, especially since its tokens are so expensive. Do 3 things. Okay, I will set this to auto mode as well. For people who do not know what auto mode is, it will essentially execute all the commands that the Anthropic internal classifier deems safe. So often if it tries to remove something, it will be blocked until you give it explicit permission. But all of the other commands will just run. Also here, I know some people run dangerously skip permissions. Just not a particular fan of this. So back then, you know, I'm not a UI guy. My background is in machine learning. So back then, manually handcrafted something like this. Let's not give it 20 seconds thinking time. Here you can select whether you play against AlphaBeta or Monte Carlo tree search. And then, you know, I can start playing. Oh, I didn't set this. So now we have to wait 20 seconds for the AI to make a move. And in the background, it's actually running an AlphaBeta search, and it also tells me the score and what's the last move. We can change board sizes and everything, but of course, yeah, also for debugging, I had it that I can see the search tree. So you know, okay, if it doesn't make any moves, then its score is -3 because I have 3 on the field. If it makes 1 move, then we are even. So there's not so like there's not so much it can do in the first 5 moves. We can also see it only managed to search to depth 5 in this time. Ideally, we should give it some scoring heuristic, which makes it get some more nuanced score. For example, is it really best to start on the side? I'm not sure. Maybe controlling the center is better, so it should probably put something in these corners. Let's see how fast it can think in 3. In the background, we can see Claude is actually working. It's looking for bug fixes in the deep review, and then we have performance optimizations. Yeah, in the meantime, maybe I can show off a little bit of the game. Yeah. So now it correctly said, okay, you know, it needs to put a 4 here because otherwise I would put a 4 over here, and then I think it found that I made a mistake. So my goal was that I would put 3s around here, but it is 1 step ahead and it will just win. And I'm gonna show you how. So you know, my goal is if I get 4 here, then I can topple over this 4, and then it will actually topple over this one. But now the AI made a mistake, and I wonder why. Maybe because the search depth is too shallow. But we are in a race on who gets the most 4s around here. And now I can show you. Ah, interesting. It probably saw that it can topple this over. Interesting. So maybe I'm gonna lose to my AI, even though I said it made a mistake, because I'm the one who cannot read far enough. Anyway, you can see how it spirals out of control. I remember back in the day I even had a version that had some network, and I played it with some of my school friends. But yeah, anyway, we will also ask Claude to make the UI nicer. And to show you how to do this is, okay, now I looked at your UI and it looks, not your UI, my UI. And it's very old. I want you to refactor the UI a little bit too. Maybe we can make it really nice looking. Since I don't have any design skills installed, I want you to do a web search for common AI slop in the design space and try to avoid this. In general, I want a bright UI, pretty simplistic, but the board should look nice, and maybe we can have some really interesting or good looking animation when the board is actually toppling over. Feel free to also run this in a sub-agent. Maybe Opus sub-agent is good. These agents just go away and do their thing, and it takes a while. If you go down here, you can see this is the command that the main Opus agent gave to this sub-agent, and the sub-agent is happily chugging along. Also here, this one is going through hash strings, reproducible, baseline logged. So yeah, they're doing things. You can see automatically this Claude version agent gets to work on a work tree, so all the code changes it makes are not affecting the main repository. Bootstrap plus jQuery, so via Ajax. Okay, and I did a web search and found the common AI slob. And now we can wait for it to do this. Let me quickly look up what I wanted to do in this first episode. Where did I want to go? Yeah, so actually I thought, while this opus is working, you can see how, with AI I tend to stack multiple things in parallel. Now running in parallel, 3 work trees. Okay, this is all good. It just tells me what research it did. Apparently it found these websites. Okay, it just told me it will do the animation client side, which is fine with me. Okay, I have yet another task that we can work on in parallel. I thought we can try to make a small arena which lets AI battle against itself. In particular, I want to see how well min-max works against MCTS, and maybe even the different versions. So we can take the baseline version, which is what I committed to this repository, versus the version with the improvements that the sub-agent will implement, and then we can run them against each other. I wonder if we give them like 1 second thinking time, if this is really enough to test them, because there might not be a big difference in terms of performance between them. But this is up to you. Just make some sort of arena that I can run, and I hope that hopefully finishes within 10 minutes. That I could pit them against each other and see how well each version performs against the previous version and the other algorithms. Okay, this is also something we will need for later. Maybe not in this video, but in the next video I want to start implementing AlphaZero style network on top of my simple example here. And then I want to do this self-play until the network achieves superhuman performance, where I think the current min-max already beats me easily. Okay, what else do we want to do? Let AI review. While this is working away, I also have a lot of other things coming up on this channel. AI just makes it very easy to work on a lot of things, and other topics that I want to work on is I want to show how to use AI for data science, like how can you do data analytics with it, how can you do machine learning training with it. I mean, the Monte Carlo tree search and AlphaZero will already go into this direction, but I also thought we can just take a Kaggle Titanic or any other Kaggle data set and use this as a proof of concept and show how you can do everything from analytics to data science to improvement. And maybe we can build an end-to-end workflow for machine learning models. If anybody watches this and you're interested in it, please let me know in the comments. Yeah. As you can see, working with AI is maybe not very YouTube friendly. I might just make a cut here until the agents finish. Okay, I think we're back. I just wanted to say maybe some people are not so familiar with how these sub-agents work. So the main agent actually decided to implement the arena. I mean, I didn't tell Opus to use yet another sub-agent for it. And then in between, the performance optimization agent finished, and we can see that we found a 2x faster behavior. It's byte identical, plus 2 plies, which is like the search depth 2 more moves are possible with the same wall clock time. And then this main agent said, okay, it will merge it later after it's done with implementing the arena. And currently it's playing a game. Can we actually see the output? We can't, because I don't know why at some point Opus and Sonnet started to tail all the commands. This is actually something I want to put in my Claude MD to tell it to not tail them. I can accept that they don't want the context to overflow. But yeah, maybe it's fine. We will see it later. Okay, I will pause it here again, just until maybe the other agents finish and this arena finishes and we actually have something to see. Now I have to laugh a little bit. So the bug fixes and deep review agent finished, and it said 2 serious bugs. Okay. String was fully broken. Ouch. And the AlphaBeta transposition table symmetry was doubly broken. If you don't know what that means, it's just essentially trying to not search symmetrical positions all the time. Wrong coordinate transform. Ouch. Okay. So real bugs in there. And then what I found interesting too is that, oh, the output of this arena command that it was running is buffered behind tail. Let me kill it and run a cleaner version. Exactly what I said, right? It also seems the UI sub-agent just finished. At least I can't see it anymore. The server is still running though. So now I wonder if we can... I forgot which port it was running on. Let's just see. Okay, jump to the bottom. So it definitely didn't change my UI. I mean, maybe that sub-agent also worked in the work tree. So we just have to wait until the main agent is done. For this, I'm gonna pause it again. I'm sorry for the many pauses, but I feel like it's boring for you to just watch. I think another 15 minutes, it actually finished. In between, Claude got stuck with the arena. For some reason, there was no output, and it realized it introduced some bugs here and there, but eventually it got it done, and in the simple experiment that it ran, AlphaBeta search beat MCTS 2-0. Then it also found that I killed the server in between. I'm not sure if I did this on camera or off camera, but it said it will launch the new one. I will show this in a second. UI redesign, drop bootstrap, client-side topple animation. Okay. Bug fixes, serious bugs in toString, AlphaBeta transposition table was broken, plus the 5 known ones, 13 tests pass, 8 new. So apparently I had some tests, now we have more. Performance, deep copy, 2 row slice, several hoists, 2x faster. This is actually quite big, so this is the 2-ply extra. And then the arena, validated in the working tree, AlphaBeta beat MCTS. Okay, decision needed before merging to master. Perf and bug fix, work tree, both edit both the same regions with semantic conflicts. It's not an auto merge. Yes, correctness first sounds good, and then afterwards you merge in the performance improvements, and then on top of this the UI. You can make 3 separate commits in the main branch. In the meantime, I will look at the UI. So, let me open the UI for you. It looks comical. I mean, this is like funny. Okay, board size 5, thinking time. Let's give it 5 seconds again. Apply. These animations are great. I have to laugh now because this looks like just like any other, you know, browser game or some of those fake YouTube video ads. Okay, maybe I'm gonna topple something over and let's see the animation. The search analysis is still there. This could have been a bit nicer. I want to see what AI does. I think it thinks it's ahead. Does it still think it's ahead? Nah. Oh, that looks quite nice. Whoa. Was that possible? What just happened? Oh, there's a bug in the animation. Let's see if the bug happens again if the computer places something. No, it's only the next move after the animation is not good. Now I want to play this game to the end. I'm sorry, maybe not good content for the YouTube video. It's fun enough. I think this is actually something I could then put up on my web server later. I will show or put in the description where you can find it if you want to play it yourself. But I might limit it to not so deep analysis because, you know, costs CPU and blocks the rest. Okay, board conflict is toString, keep the bug fix, correct version, okay. This one is still merging everything. Just one comment about how much vibe coding I'm gonna do here. You know, since this is really just for myself, I'm not gonna review the code very much. I will ask Claude to merge this to master and maybe look through the commits quickly just to see what Claude did, but I don't think the code needs a lot of, like, it's more like I'm gonna play test it and see how it works. Of course, if you work for a company or something, I would not necessarily do it like this. This one is really just to have a little bit of fun and see how fast we can drive this proof of concept. Yeah, and just to experience how fast you can actually prototype something with AI. And I mean, the stress here is on prototype, right? It's not production ready code that we are producing. Even if I put this on my web server, it's not a game that I would send around on Hacker News and be like, hey, look at this nice thing that I made. Yeah, just for toying around. I will just pause quickly again until Claude manages to merge this, and then maybe I will push it onto GitHub. We quickly scroll through the commits to just see what happened, and then this is the first video. I hope it was interesting. The next one we would then go to maybe get AlphaZero working. So, you know, we have a neural network playing against itself, maybe AlphaZero style. I will actually let Claude search the paper and read it to me, or like summarize it to me. I read the paper 6 years ago or something. I don't quite remember anything from it. Yeah, let's be back after the pause to just check the code, and then we are done for this video. Okay, so Claude managed the merge. It put it into multiple commits. You know, I thought locally I already have it on master, so I don't make a branch and a pull request and all of this. And also it's my project, only me working on it, so I pushed it straight to master. I'm well aware of the best practices, just, you know, my own project, don't care so much. Adding the arena, so okay, we have two new files, one arena. There's participants, empty opening, present opening, winner by boxes, play game. Yeah, so I'm not gonna review this code, you know, we just use it for ourselves, and AI tends to produce so much code. Fix correctness bugs, board to string, rotating moves, proper rotations. Oh yeah, look at this code. This is 8 years ago me code. Interesting. Yeah. Again, no deep reviews here. Speed up search without changing the results. Oh yeah, sorry, this is open the same thing it does. Yeah, something about hash tables, but yeah, okay. And redesign the web theme. This is probably, I mean, honestly, maybe some of you know, but I'm not sure it's not just stolen from somewhere. Still have to laugh about how comically this looks, like all of these mobile games with their fake advertisements. Okay, yeah, but I hope you liked the first video. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments. I will actually improve my setup and try to make it more interesting next time. I mean, this was just really, hey, Claude, can you look at this code base? Maybe one takeaway to take from here is, even if you don't remember the code or you take some code base that you don't know about, you can ask Claude to explain it to you. And you know, after the initial explanation from Claude, I kind of still remember roughly how the code is structured, and it's not that complex a project. So yeah, AI makes it really easy to get into unknown code bases. Of course, you know, open source is currently swamped with the slop pull requests, so don't just go out of there and clone some random repository and say, hey Claude, fix everything and make a pull request. I don't think this is particularly nice, and this is overwhelming the maintainers. But for your own personal projects, if you have something that you didn't finish 5 years ago, 10 years ago, go back to it. Now it's really easy to make very quick progress on this. Yeah, thank you very much, and see you next time.